Hi, Bizzy here. Be love, be light, believe. Thank you for joining me here today on the Bizzy Show. I thought I'd bring you some sunset. I spent a good chunk of the day in the sun today, and I feel amazing. There's a lot of nature sounds going on too in the background. Besides a few vehicles, of course. Can't quite get away from those sometimes. Anyway, I thought I'd come here today to do another episode of the Bizzy Show. It's been a few weeks since I've recorded my last episode. I've still been sort of stuck on this past life or spirit that I'm channeling. I don't know for sure. However, the other day I was doing a meditation to clear energy from past lives, and more visions came through. And I actually felt visceral feelings in my body as if I were the person I'm channeling when she was trapped and locked up, strapped to a chair. There was a lot of pain. And it just came through like, it's just really hard to describe my experiences when I get so far into a state of mind that's beyond this world here, or more like beyond this time that I'm actually experiencing. So it's as if my person that I am now experiences the experience in such a flashback as if it was me. Could be. It's very real in the body sensations that I have. Anyway, I thought I'd come here today because I had such a good day in the sun. It's completely rejuvenated me. 24 hours ago, I was quite fatigued and stressed. And taking the break today and purposely making sure that I focus my energy and time on putting myself in the sun, even though it's only been a few hours this afternoon. It's amazing what nature will do. It heals. We don't need chemicals. There's so many chemicals in all this stuff anyway. I guess I'm so far along on my journey that sometimes I forget where I was before years ago, when I first started questioning things. I experienced, alright, there's a bug. Thank you, bug. I had a really difficult experience with a copper IUD that they talked me into getting. I only had it in my body for about 3 months, and it was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. And I demanded that they take it out. And that's when I started to get, amongst other health problems I was also having, I started focusing on, and I was being guided to look up heavy metals. And it's ridiculous how many heavy metals are in our products that we can buy in a store to put on our skin, to put on our hair, to use to brush our teeth, to put on in our body. And how is this happening? I mean, if a person were to go over to another person's home, or even in public, and put something in their food or drink, or in their lotion or their hair product, they would be held accountable. However, these big companies that use these heavy metals and all these chemicals that we don't know what they are, can't even pronounce them, continue to be allowed, FDA approved, to sell these products. I will tell you, I quit fluoride toothpaste. I quit aluminum deodorants. I quit hair products that have phosphates. I'm super paranoid about stuff like that now. And I do slip up, and I do probably eat things I shouldn't eat. The eating the food has been the hardest thing for me. I'm definitely not a fan of aspartame. Anything with aspartame, I can taste it immediately, and I don't want it in my body. There are other fake sweeteners, I guess, that aren't as bad, but however, if you can, and if you don't have any kind of dietary reason not to, just eat the regular sugar, or cane sugar, or honey. All the sugars that come from plants naturally, our bodies can process that stuff. Our bodies have a harder time processing chemically made sugars and chemically made other ingredients. It's not natural. Think about how long humans have been around, and then think about how many years these companies with these products have been around. It's not very long. It's not long at all. We're being poisoned. We're being poisoned with our food. We're being poisoned with our skin and hair products. We're being poisoned with news and mass media. When a human being to a human being interaction, for the most part, is positive or nonviolent, they want us to believe that everywhere is scary because of these select events that they proceed to play on repeat to induce fear. I still struggle with fear. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, CPTSD complex. It's lots of things from childhood that have played out into my adulthood. And I've had to learn lessons on repeat. I keep making the same choices until I learn, oh hey, Bizzy, this is not good for you. Are you listening yet? My biggest point to make is, don't necessarily agree with me to agree. I want everyone out there to start thinking for themselves. We each have our own brain, and it's important that we use it. It's so important to question what, when, why, who, where, how, all those question words you learned in school. I'm really loving the birds chirping here. They're different sounds than I'm used to. I'm in a different place than usual. Nature is healing. If you want answers, go outside, sit by a tree, turn everything off for a little while, even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes. Set a timer if you have to, if you struggle focusing. I don't usually set a timer. I like to lose time or get lost in the moment, really. Get lost in the moment when I'm outside in nature. The man-made time structure doesn't matter at that point because I'm enjoying where I am at the moment. Excuse me. I've just had the most glorious day. And it's really indescribable where I'm at in my life. A lot of people would think, looking down from the outside in, that I'm absolutely insane. And I don't care. I am blessed beyond blessed. And I have miracles occurring in my life on the daily. The little things really do matter. Oh, there's a bird that's close now. I'm in such a chuckly mood. I wanted to share some of my joy with you today. You're stuck at home on a couch, on a bed, in a box. We're supposed to be outside a majority of the day. Human beings that spend time outside are healthier than human beings that spend time in boxes. Some of you out there might be content living in a world that was decided for you and following the crowd. And that's okay. We all have free will. It's up to each of us to choose. What do we want? Where do we want to go? What kind of future do we see for ourselves? And when you focus on what you actually want, if you can figure it out, and you focus on the feeling of what it is that you actually want, it will come to you. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it will come. Energy manifestation requires a lot of work, a lot of time spent thinking, meditating, taking action when necessary, learning to feel an inner guidance system that we all have. We each have our own inner guidance system. It's there. And sometimes the inner guidance system might push you. I know that my inner guidance system pushes me sometimes past my normal comfort zone. A lot. actually. Not sometimes, a lot. And when I take the leaps of faith, as I'm guided to do, I'm always rewarded with something so much better than what I thought could possibly even occur or happen. I'm so happy today. This is just the sunset. I'm watching the sunset as I'm recording this. Sunrises and sunsets are important. When the sun is low on the horizon, it's easier to take in the light. For years, I would watch sunsets mostly. I've been blessed to have homes and apartments and such that I can watch the sunset, or that would have a window facing the sunset. And even if it was only for a few minutes, right there at the end, it does something. If you don't know anything about the pineal gland, it's time to start doing some research. Quit the fluoride and your pineal gland might get decalcified. Gotta drink a lot of water, alkaline water too. It's really important that you drink alkaline water or find alkaline foods. Most of the foods that we have in our environment that they push on us are acidic foods, meaning when the food breaks down in your body, it can either create an acidic substance or it can create an alkaline substance. And since most of the foods create acidic substances, it completely throws your body off, especially high fructose sugar, which I personally struggle with. I've been struggling with high fructose syrup sugar my whole life because I love Pepsi. It's a harder addiction to break than the alcohol was. I'm rolling my eyes behind these glasses and you probably can't see because I every once in a while I get a craving for one and I get one, and then I get mad at myself after I drink it because it makes me feel like crap. I don't know why I'm spouting off all of these things. It's some of these are just some of the changes that I've personally made in my life. And I wouldn't change it. I feel younger. I look younger, besides the hair. I love my hair, by the way. I spent years trying to fit in and do all kinds of crazy stuff to it, dyeing it, bleaching it, wild colors, and I destroyed my hair. So when I cut it boy short years ago, 7 years ago, I promised myself I would never dye it again. And that's when I really started to take care of my hair specifically. Coconut oil is really good for your hair. Olive oil, tea tree oil, those kinds of things. I've spewed a lot of different things out today, but I will let you know that they kind of came in phases. It was like a one thing at a time. I would notice if I ate. I apologize there. Someone was walking on the trail. Good for them. Everyone here is so happy. People that I'll meet out in the woods are always so happy. I can't believe I spent most of my 20s not spending time outside. I spent my 20s doing dumb shit. Trying to fit in. Trying to live some lifestyle that wasn't for me. And I was miserable. And I was encouraged by those around me to follow. Every time I do that people-pleasing crap and I make a decision because I think that someone else will be happy because I am doing that or making that decision, I regret it instantly. And then I have feelings of resentment at myself and anger at myself for not being true to who I am. It's taking me a long time to figure out what actually belonged to me, what energy actually belonged to me and my higher self, and what energy and influences were actually coming from outside of myself. There's a lot of gibberish. I'm just hoping. See, here I am critiquing myself before I'm even watching this back. I need to stop doing that. I'm trying to remember what it was like when I first started to become more aware and I started to question this world we live in. And, I do remember I did an art project on chocolate when I was an undergrad. And that was the first time in my life that I was doing research on chocolate and found out that child slaves were being made to harvest cocoa beans. And I could not believe, my naive, I was 19 or 20 at the time, I could not believe that that was occurring on this world. At that time, I had been so sheltered in my thinking. It angered me. I didn't eat chocolate for a year. Now we have way more. There's free trade chocolate, and it's much easier to acquire products that aren't damaged energetically by where they came from. You have to think about, because since energy is everything, everything is energy, the whole process of that cocoa bean before it comes to your mouth and into your stomach is going to affect you. If you're eating chocolate with high fructose corn syrup and it's picked by child slaves, it's not going to be good for you. If you're eating a darker chocolate that's been honestly harvested by adults who get paid a fair wage, they might be a happier people doing a job. So that energy is going to translate into a better energy for you. This sunset, man. So I can't wait to watch this video back so I can watch this sunset again. Pivotal. It's a pivotal sunset for me. I hope some of this resonates for whoever's out there listening. I just saw a bird fly by. The sunset. I cannot get over the sunset. I'm so grateful to be here today. I'm so grateful that I was given an opportunity to take a half a day really, it was most of the day today, and focus on being outside and focus on getting some good sun rays. The sun is so good for you, in moderation, of course. It's best to have sun every day. So, quit fluoride, quit aluminum deodorants, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, do some research on the pineal gland. Go outside, turn off your technology for a little while and listen to the nature sounds. Feel, oh, this is another one. Put your bare feet on the ground. So many people don't want to get their feet dirty. We're supposed to be barefoot on appropriately weathered days, especially when it's warm. I even go outside when it's cold sometimes. I'll go outside when it's cold for 5 minutes without a coat on and in my bare feet and go put my feet on the ground to reset myself. 5 minutes outside in the cold isn't gonna hurt you. You can go right back in. Bare feet on the ground. Do it. I love birds. I swear, whatever noises they're making, those are downloads. If I'm talking to anyone that's a little further along in their spiritual journey, you can get downloads from trees. You can get downloads from bare feet on the ground. You can get downloads from the birds. You can even get downloads from seeing an animal cross your path during the day. I have birds fly right in front of my car all the time. They dive down and go right in front of it. And I know that it's not a coincidence because it happens so often, and many times it happens in multiples within minutes. Remember that we are energetic beings, spirits, whatever you want to call it, living a human experience. Not the other way around. If you can grasp that, your energy is larger than your body, picture yourself inside a bubble. Except it's not so much a bubble because it's not sealed so much. I kind of like to think of it as being my own sun. I am my own sun. And I emanate light outwardly to share it with you, friends. Curious ones who aren't quite sure what's happening. Other spiritual woke people. Everyone, whoever you are. We're all here together. We are all here as mirrors of one another. We are all here to help raise the frequency of this planet that we currently reside on in these bodies. Excuse me. I had some collard greens for dinner today and it's given me a little bit of burps. They were delicious, by the way. The sunset. What a glorious, glorious sunset for a glorious, glorious day that it was today. Oh, another thing you probably would want to do if you're interested in spiritual evolution. Quit watching the news. Cancel your cable. The commercials are garbage also. It's literally poisoning your ears through sound. And since sound is healing, or really, I'm trying to say, since everything is a frequency, a wave, everything. If you break it all down, everything is broken all the way down to energy waves and sound. If you listen to a song, a happy song, for 3 or 4 minutes, it will uplift you. If you sit there and you watch that TV about that terrible thing that's going on, you're gonna feel terrible. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to keep up with garbage. Go out and live your own life. None of that stuff really, I mean, it matters to an extent, but you get to choose in your life how much energy you actually spend on outward things and inward things. If I were you, I'd start focusing on your inner self. Focus on figuring out, why are you here? Do you think that you're here to work a 9-to-5 job and play on the weekends and follow this strict schedule that someone along the line decided that this is what society thinks that everyone should be doing? It never makes sense to me. My phone cut out because I'm full of storage, so in addition to decluttering all of the physical items I have in my life, I also need to go through my phone and do that. So, we're gonna end the video here, as I couldn't get it back propped up where it was before. Thanks for joining me here today. I hope that something resonated for you and maybe you can make positive change in your life somehow. Slowly, one step at a time. Thank you for joining the Bizzy Show. Be love, be light, believe.